Come on and shine, shine, shine. Las Vegas, shine your light on me.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. Join award-winning host Dale Davidson as he interviews the most remarkable people you'll find in the entertainment capital of the world. You'll meet entertainers, sports figures, newsmakers, community and business leaders, and people just like you with stories that'll touch your heart. Now, here's Dale Davidson.
Welcome to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. Each and every week at this time, we bring you fascinating guests. We've done it again, ladies and gentlemen. We have Sandy Kastel and Michael Leonetti. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Great to see you folks.
Your Honor, always again. A pleasure.
Soon, Sandy Kastel and Friends will be a network show. Right now, it's a local show right here on Keene and several other stations. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Sandy, tell us a little bit about the program and what you're trying to accomplish with it.
Well, the program is called Sandy Kastel and Friends, and it's a variety show, and it's featuring Chef Michael.
There he is. Who is a chef and
That's
a drummer.
Right. And a drummer and a singer extraordinaire.
And all
yes,
that stuff.
yeah. So what we do is we have different segments. We have interviews with local and international authors, artists, musicians, whatever, sculptors, and celebrities. And then also we have a Staying Fit and Fabulous Forever program. And
I like the episode about yoga. That was really fascinating.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we had dancing with Angelo Moyo over at the Backstage Dance Studio. Okay. And then we had yoga over at Sherry Goldstein's Yoga Sanctuary. Yeah, wow. Right off the bat.
That's fantastic.
So, and the whole idea is that we're staying young and fit and fabulous forever, because no matter what stage of life we are in, no matter what size, shape, or age we are, it's all about feeling good about ourselves. Whether we're incorporating a few items to our exercise program each week, or we're going to see a stylist and doing a fashion makeover, these are things that we want to share with our audience. So we're going to have fashion shows, we're going to have beauty experts on the show. It should be a lot of fun.
That's wonderful. Tell me how you decided to do the program to start with. What was behind it?
Well, I had already been doing the radio show for a couple of years over at KLAV, Lotus Broadcasting. And I had been doing WEMA, Women in Music and Arts, which is my nonprofit organization. That was my impetus to get it started, because I wanted to promote all of the artists. Promote all of the artists and entertainers that we have locally. Plus, we do bring on nonprofit organizations too, and charitable organizations, so they can talk about what they're doing in the community. And then, so I started that program 2 years ago, and then I met Michael. He came as a guest on the show over at Sienna's over on West Sahara, and so we met there on the show, and a couple months went by, and I was inviting him to go meet some of the entertainers in Las Vegas, and he was calling me up and saying, "Let's go over here, and you want to go sing over here?"
Right.
And we would go with these groups of people, and then before we know it, we're teaming up, and he started producing the radio show. We went to Planet Hollywood, where he took me, and then we were doing
location work.
Yeah, we were doing location work. And then in November, we took a little hiatus because we were ready. We wanted to go to TV. And so we took a couple of months off. And then we got a call back from KLAV, and they said, "We've got Monday through Friday available. Do you want it?" And I said, "Monday through Friday."
That's a lot. That's a lot of broadcast.
That's a lot. And that way we could be there Monday through Friday every single day, and people could call in. So we said, "Okay, let's do it." And so here we are, 9:00 a.m.
Wow.
Then every time that we have a show, since day one, 2 or 3 years ago, I was filming inside the studio or on location.
And everything.
Shooting in
Looks
HD.
really nice.
Yeah. So that video footage was just what led us to, we would put it up on YouTube, and everybody kept saying, "You got to have a TV show, you got to have a TV show." And here we are now on Keene TV.
That's wonderful.
Well, if I may interject for just a minute.
Please do.
Sandy was at, what camera am I looking? Because I'm so handsome, I want to make sure I want to
look at me.
Okay.
The profile shot.
Easy, because I got that Italian nose.
That's got good things. That's character.
I met Sandy, like I said, we met, and her singing kind of really intrigued me. It was very nice to hear a talented, because there's only a few talented singers in Vegas. There's a lot of people, but they're okay. And me working with the uptown playing in Hollywood. I was with Star Resorts International. I was the marketing guru, so I had all the show tickets.
Oh, okay.
I could do whatever I want. So I put her up there just to see what we have.
Right.
And me doing the cooking together, you know, her singing, me doing the cooking. Because I've watched a million TV shows. But the problem with the television shows is they look great.
Right.
But it's too complicating.
Right.
So I go
Other people. Not him.
Well, no, it's
keeps it simple.
I keep it simple.
Yeah,
so
right.
I go to Smith's, who we shop all the time, and I can mention his name. He's Tom Stunick was the general manager. Now he got promoted. Now Stacy took his place, and we shopped there. And I said, look, I have an idea. I like to come into your store and bring your store into the households.
Right.
They looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, wait a minute. I'll put the money up. Don't worry about it. I said, we'll do a show and we'll do this, Steve. Anyway, they agreed upon it. And now if you go on YouTube and you put in shopping at Smith's, that's how it all started.
And actually, we're putting segments of that on our TV
I've
show.
seen it. It's fascinating.
Because he did
Why to buy certain
he did
things
5 dishes on that show.
Oh, okay.
So and they're simple to cook, and so that way we've got those to
Exactly.
use.
And I used 4 spices: salt, pepper, parsley, garlic. Every nationality, every race, creed, and color has those spices in their cupboards. The thing is, when you get into arrowroot, tarragon, people say, who?
Yeah.
For chefs, they understand that.
Whatever.
Well, rosemary's great with pork, because that's what I'm making. Delicious. But a lot of people don't really know that. Yeah. So, in fact, this week we were invited to go to Smith's and Chef Michael to float around and with my outfit and ask people questions. I'll hang around the meat department and say, you know how to make that steak? I have a suggestion. And people know me now, Sandy now, and when they see me walk in, they say, Chef Mike, can I ask you a question? How do you make this stuff here? How do you do that? And what could you do here? And it's the customer service. But the fun, what we're excited about, the best way to do, and I'm so proud to be affiliated with you, because I believe with all my heart and soul that our show altogether will grow, because what we have, nobody else has in Las Vegas.
Because also, even in the cooking segments, what we do is it's called Cooking with Chef Michael, of course. And we invite the entertainers and artists and authors to be in the segments with us.
And
so
they jump in and then they ask you questions.
Right, and I show them what needs to be done now. But I specialize in Italian cuisine, period, because my grandmother raised me. You know, so I try to take people back to the 50s and the 40s, you know, of like my great-grandmother. Tradition. And as a child, you know, most kids would play baseball at the age of 5 and 6 years old.
Right.
I loved her so much. I watched everything she did. So as a child, I would watch what she did. So those traditional dishes is what I make today. And that's why when we opened up the show, Sandy, it's called the Spoon. You see me with the spoon. And real brief, at the age of 18, my grandmother calls me into the kitchen and she says, I don't want to talk in Italian because I don't know a lot of people might not understand me.
More than you know.
So she says, Giandomaio in Italian means, come here, Miguel. She says, vieni qua, come over here. And I see my uncles and my aunts. I thought somebody passed away. I says, Grandma, Gia, what's the matter? And she takes out the spoon and she hands it to me. Now, when the Italian people hand you the spoon, I was 18 years old.
Wow.
She turned over the kitchen to me.
Wow.
So my aunts and my uncles, they all had a meeting, and they realized that my way of cooking was the traditional, because Sandy mentioned to me on our show, why did they give it to you and not your sister or your cousins or somebody else? Yeah. Because I stayed to the traditional way of cooking of what they did.
And a lot of these dishes a lot of these dishes we haven't had in Italian restaurants because they're peasant dishes.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. So whenever anybody comes over and they taste one of his dishes, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so good! I've never had this." And he says, "It's a peasant dish. You know, it's been in the family. You know, these are kind of the dishes that they don't do in Italian restaurants."
Yeah. You know, it's fascinating. I know a lot of chefs because of my wife's business, actually. So I get to meet them, and a lot are like you. But what's interesting is when you talk to them, you say, was it the schooling, you know, was it going to Cordon Bleu, was it, what, and you go, no. It was mom, it was grandma.
Right.
I love being in the kitchen. Yeah. And it really touches your heart to think about her, doesn't it?
Sure, but cooking in the kitchen and cooking at home is two separate things, totally. Yeah. Well, and any chef from any major restaurant would attest to that. Chris, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Okay.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, there's a dish that I make. We named it pasta al grasso. after friends of ours because they loved it. And she said, "What is this dish?"
Well, Lisa Grasso, she went back 4 times. She goes,
the first day.
"What is in this? I can't stop eating it." And that's mostly what happens. And then Diana and Dr. Perry, you named the chicken dish
Chicken Pascal after them.
Because they love that dish.
It was my grandmother's dish. So and it's 2 minutes and 38 seconds to make it. I would come home. My grandma says, "You hungry, Mike?" I go, "Yeah, make me some, Grandma." She'd heat up butter. She put garlic, a granulated garlic in the butter, fresh tomatoes, olives. She boiled pasta, pour that over with Parmesan cheese and breadcrumb. I'm telling you something. You never tasted a dish so delicious in your life, and it takes 2 minutes. So people say, "Well, and you can't get that anywhere. There's no place you can get that." So the TV show is for people that can make dishes that are simple. They can watch me do it and say, I could do that.
As a matter of fact, we had one of the authors that was on our show a couple of weeks ago, and while he was on, Michael talked about making a South Philly, the steak, what is it called? The
South Philadelphia cheesesteak.
South Philadelphia cheesecake, you know, right? So he made that, and he called on the show today, and he says, "I just wanted to tell you, Chef Michael, I made that, and I love it. So thank you for the recipe."
Now when you get it, well, now she was filet mignon. So anyway,
well, yeah, because you're shaving.
If you come back from a commercial, I'm sure you're gonna have a commercial. I'll tell you how it's done.
Funny how he knew that all by himself. He knew that.
I see the
And when we come back, we're going to talk about what it's like to be in the Miss America competition.
You were in the Miss America pageant? Oh
yes,
my gosh.
It was not Michael. We'll be back with Sandy Kastel and Michael Leonetti right after this.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life. Be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation. People whose lives were transformed, and people who are now transforming the world.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Tonight. I'm your host, Dale Davidson. We're very pleased to have with us Sandy Kastel of Sandy Kastel and Friends, and her friend of Sandy Kastel and Friends, Michael Leonetti. Thank you both for coming on.
It's an honor.
It's Chef Michael.
I like the way you do that. She does that every time on the show.
And he goes, "Do you have to do that?"
You have to do that.
I said, "Yes, I have to do that."
Yes, because now that's a trademark thing.
It is
now
a trademark.
We're known for that.
And every time people come up, they go, "Hi, it's Chef Michael." He goes, "Now I'm a chef." What happened?
Well, you got a little feel for what, the 29 years of the Johnny Carson show, what it must have been like for him. Yeah. Every time he went out,
McMahon.
he must have heard that. Yes, Johnny. It's the same thing. Let's talk about Miss America, Sandy Kastel. So you were a contestant in Miss America. What is that like? Tell us the behind the scenes, and how did you get involved with beauty pageants?
Well, behind the scenes. Okay, first of all, I had never gotten involved when I was a kid in the pageants. My girlfriend, Kenna Wadsworth, who was in Sweet Charity with me in high school, came up to me. She was a former Miss, and she said, "Sandy, you need to, you should be in a pageant, and in the Miss America pageant, you should audition for it." And I said, "But I'm not a contestant. I'm not tall and blonde, because that was my vision of what a contestant was, a beauty queen, a beauty queen, yeah." Right. And she said, "Oh, but it's 50% talent." I said, "Oh, well, I can sing." So, anyway, I did the pageant, and I won Miss Las Vegas. Now, the first time I did it was in 1970. I don't know. 3, I think, or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. Yeah. And then I went and I traveled on the road for a while. But the first time I did it, I went up to the Miss Nevada pageant. I won second runner-up. Okay. Then I traveled on the road with the band, and then I came back into town, and I had a call, and they said, "Can you enter the pageant again? We need some strong talent." Oh, okay. And I looked at my mom, who had helped me make my gowns before. I said, "Are you ready for this?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "I think I could win this year." So I won Miss Las Vegas, won Miss Nevada, and I went to the Miss America pageant. And I did not get into the top 10, which was, of course, disappointing. Sure. But, you're standing up there, you're smiling
and you have to smile, and you're not allowed to show anything else.
You have to smile
I'm
the
so
whole
happy
entire
for
time.
you.
And you're standing up there waiting for your name to be called, and my name wasn't called, and I thought there was one more, and there wasn't.
Wow.
But right after, I went off to the side, and sat down on the stairs, and cried a little bit, because the emotions of the entire week is draining. And then I said, "Oh, I got to go vote. I got to go see who's going to win." And I remember at that point in time, Miss Minnesota won, and Dorothy Benham, and she was the sweetest, nicest, talented girl.
Wow.
And she went all the way from winning her first local to her second, to the state, to the national.
She went all the way up.
And she's still, every time we have our pageant, for a few years we had it here in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I was able to, meet up with a lot of those girls that I was in the pageant with. Yeah, and Dorothy was there, of course, always. And
nice.
Tawny Little, who was Tawny Godan, who was the previous year, 1975, before 76, which was the year I was in it. I see her every once in a while,
That's nice.
And the thing of it is that's part of the inspiration that I think has been part of my life, my entire life, and that's why I'm doing the Fit and Fabulous Forever, Stay Fit and Fabulous Forever, because you see these girls, all these girls that are in these pageants, especially nowadays, they start out with a platform. At 16, 17 years old, they're starting out with a platform already, and they get so much experience, and then they get to the Miss America pageant, and they've already had this experience with a charitable organization that they are out there raising money for. They've been out in the public. Now they get a lot more work now than we did back then. And we didn't have to come up with a platform. We just went there and we did our talent, and and you got 50% for the talent until you got to the final stages. But the idea is that throughout my entire life, I've always taken good care of myself. I mean, I have never been fanatical about not eating anything. But
you look great.
But I try to take good care of myself. And so people would ask me. They say, "How do you do that? How do you stay looking so good? How do you stay taking care of yourself? And you don't seem to age." Well, of course we do age, but they're very kind, and they say, "Oh, you're that old?" And I said, "Yeah." But anyway, when did you do that pageant? 1976. I said, "Yes." And they go, "Really?" but the idea is that the girls have always come up and they said, "How do you do it?" And so for me, it's about a good mental attitude, obviously. It's also about taking care of yourself, eating properly, and even if you want to have a hamburger, you want to have Cokes or something like that, it's doing it sparingly and incorporating the good eating habits, which is making sure you're getting enough of your vegetables, getting enough of your vitamins, and also getting exercise, whether it's yoga, it's Pilates, it's running, it's cycling, it's bicycling, it's whatever it is that you feel good about doing. So you keep yourself in shape. And walking is an excellent one that everybody can do. They can walk, or maybe if they're handicapped, maybe they can't walk, and then they use their arms, and they use wheelchairs. So you take you wherever you are in your life, and you incorporate these habits that help you keeping the best, making you the best that you are wherever you're at in your life, and also working with stylists, beauty experts, fashion. I think Betsy Ann and I were talking earlier. She said, "I'd like to go to a stylist and have them, maybe take me and do some, show me what I should wear, to accomplish, what's most flattering." Because, we've all seen the shows on TV about how do you dress and how do you, look slimmer, how do you look taller, and if you're shorter, how do you look thinner if you're heavier, how do you minimize a bust line if you got too much, how do you, accentuate your body in certain areas, and these are all tips that can help us look and feel good about ourselves. And of course, it's about taking time for yourself too.
That's key, isn't it?
Yeah, taking time for yourself during the day, each week, every month, taking a little time to focus on treating yourself to a little downtime, rejuvenate, because if we don't rejuvenate ourselves, we don't have anything to give back.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, and I think people, particularly in today's work climate, having an hour of downtime is almost impossible.
And it doesn't even have to be an hour. Believe it or not, it's as simple as sitting for 5 minutes, or standing in a bank line and just closing your eyes for a minute, or just, being there when you're walking, your pace. You know how we're always rushing around, we're rushing. If you're rushing somewhere, take a few minutes and go, "Oh wait, let me just slow down my pace just for a little few steps here." And what it does is it reconnects with your neurological system, and it says, okay, let's slow down. And now you just give yourself a chance to go, okay. And then you go back to your frantic, hectic world. But those little moments throughout the day can help us too. Sometimes we don't have an hour that we can go and work out at the gym, or an hour and a half. Sometimes I was talking to Sherry Goldstein, over at the Yoga Sanctuary. They have videos, they have tapes, they have books. You can come in, they have shorter classes that you can come in and do. So sometimes just taking 15, 20 minutes out of your day to sit quietly or do a little bit of exercise. 10 minutes getting up from your desk if you're sitting there all day like this and you've got a, you're at your computer, making sure that you're getting some movement, stand up, do a few sit-ups, do a few jumping jacks.
Sure.
That'll help.
Yeah. Now
get the circulation going.
Oh, yeah. Both of you are in the public eye. You're both entertainers. You're both on television and radio. First of all, do you ever go out in your grubby clothes to go to Smith's or go someplace and run into somebody who watches and say, you look better on TV?
I wear a tuxedo to bed. and I have to tell you,
people will believe that because every time they see him, he has a suit on.
I have to tell you, as you can see, Sandy's just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, sure.
I'm not going to mention her age, but she's absolutely beautiful. And people say to me, Mike, you see this girl every day. So how does she do it? And one day, I shouldn't say this, but I might as well.
What's he gonna say?
I was in a room and I opened up the door and there was a picture that was covered. And she says, whatever you do, Mike, don't uncover that picture. And I looked down.
Talking about the movie.
No, and I looked down and it says the sister of Dorian Gray. So I never touched.
I knew he was going to say Dorian Gray.
So for those that don't understand
I didn't see that coming.
You saw it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, put it there, for those that don't know about Dorian Gray, he was a handsome guy. He never stayed. He stayed young and handsome.
That's right.
But he never could look at himself, so he would cover his picture. And the minute he uncovered the picture,
boom,
the picture got old. Not him. He stayed 23 years old for like 600 years until he's seen his picture. So it said the sister of Dorian Gray. You just get out of the closet, Mike, right now and shut the door.
Let's talk about, speaking of being in the public eye, let's talk about entertainment then and now.
Go ahead.
You guys have been in town for a while. You've been entertainers for a while. Right. How is it different? How is the strip and entertainment and production shows and headliners different today than it used to be? And is it better or worse?
Michael?
Well, thank you very much.
I know he's going to talk anyway. I might as well give him the opening.
Well, I'll tell you something. This particular piece that I'm going to tell you is going to take a few minutes. But in my heart, I feel a commercial coming on.
We very rarely have guests that pay attention.
I feel a commercial coming on.
They're a pair to draw to, aren't they? We are going to take a brief break since Michael has decided we're going to take one. We should take one. We'll be back with more on Las Vegas Tonight right after these messages.
A potential audience of more than 50 million people is reached every week by Las Vegas Tonight. To keep the important message of Christ's love on the air, we need your prayers and financial blessings. Please send your tax-deductible gift to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. For a donation of $25 or more, we'll send you a copy of Dale Davidson's new book, Las Vegas Tonight, From Sin City to Vegas Saints. You'll love these inspiring stories of Las Vegas Christians who are changing the world. Or donate to the ministry, or order Dale's book by going to vegassaints.org. That's vegassaints.org. Or call us today at 702-480-3989. That's 480-3989. God bless you.
Enjoy terrific Las Vegas shows, scrumptious dining, and fun-filled attractions at half price. Wow! Visit LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. If you use discount code VEGAS, you'll get over $2,000 worth of discounts for only $34.95. Just $34.95. LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. Act now.
I don't know about you folks, but I'm having fun. Hi, I'm Dale Davidson. This is Las Vegas Tonight, live, more or less, from Las Vegas. We have Michael Leonetti and Sandy Kastel. They're both with the Sandy Kastel and Friends television program, which airs right here on Keen 17 in Las Vegas, as well as KGNG 31.2 and 47.8. And others we'll get to in just a little bit.
Were you just doing the Miss America wave?
You know, you have to use. Did they teach you that? Because
we didn't do it that way back then.
No.
It used to be like this.
Oh,
we just went like this. But then they developed that.
Is it something? Is it about not getting carpal tunnel?
I have no
or something?
idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
I don't know where that
princes
came
and
from.
princesses are always got that thing down.
It's
That's
kind
great.
of a queenly thing.
So,
You
Michael,
queen,
I
Yes, sir.
interrupted you and we took a break. Old Vegas, New Vegas, entertainment, better, worse? What do you think?
Well, you know, for this day and age, I have to go out with the old ways, and I'll tell you why. When I came to Vegas in 1974, I had a hit record in 72.
Mm-hmm.
And now I had a 45. 45.
I remember those. I used to spin those.
Right? And I came out to Vegas, and the first place I performed, I was performing at the Marina Hotel. Those days, the Treniers, I
remember the Treniers.
they were in Atlantic City, and they used to come and see me every night. They played Club La Bistro. I followed Carmen McRae, Billy Eckstein. I was a local favorite, local favorite. So they said, kid, if you ever come to Vegas, look us up. And sure enough, I did. And I went to see them at the Marina Hotel. Well, Frederick Apcar at that particular time was booking the shows. Well, I went out and bought a pair of shoes about that high because I'm really 6'4" if I stayed on the table.
The day of the platforms.
But it was a day of the platforms, and I tried out for his show. And he looked at me, he says, look, kid, you're not going to be happy singing with me. He says, you have to sing a certain way at a certain time. He said, but I'll tell you what, get yourself an act, and I'll make you open the show. So I opened my own act at what they call the Bear Touch of Vegas. But those days that I was performing with my group, you had Freddie Bell, you had the Vagabonds, Sinatra, Frank, Dean, Sammy, Liza. Everybody was living. It was a time when Vegas, where no matter what time you went into the hotel, Sonny Keene, Vito Musso at the Frontier Hotel, it was happening. My shift was from 12 at night to 6 in the morning.
And also we had the lounges. We had some
the lounges,
great acts in the lounges where it was just a 2-drink minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so you could come in and see
great
all these
entertainment
great acts.
for a
and
couple of
that's
drinks.
what we're
Yeah.
missing today is those lounges that we used to have.
And that's a way to step up to the main room.
It was.
I mean, people would come
they
in
would
at the
come
lounge
in.
level.
Well, that's how
and-
Don Rickles started.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
That's how Waylon Mountain Flowers,
I
that's how
remember that.
they started.
Yeah, I was over at the
You know.
Sahara Hotel. Remember, I was at the Sahara Hotel in 76 and 7, or 77 to 79, 78
Okay.
or 80, and we had shows there called the Jerry Jackson production of Pinups at the Movies. And we
Okay.
had 6 dancers, you had an adagio team, you had the lead singer,
Right,
the lead
right.
boy singer, and a band, and a comedian. We had Tony D'Andrea.
Right.
You know, was our
that's
band.
great.
And then in between our shows, they had the acts.
Oh,
They
the
had
acts were
Waylon Maddox.
they
They
were.
had, Rodney Dangerfield. They had all these guys. 2-drink minimum.
And every place you went was
Unbelievable.
swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came into town, the place was the Sands.
Right.
And Walter Kane, God rest his soul, was the last of the real entertainment directors. I mean, they got these kids today, but them days was Walter Kane. And I couldn't get to see this guy. I wanted him to come to see me.
Right.
So I went 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. He never came he would come to see me. And you can't get in because upstairs you have to go through security. And everybody and their mother was given, albums and records, anything to play the lounge, it's the
Stacked up,
Sands.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs and I knew the parking attendants. I take out a $20 bill. Now, Walter Kane had a silver Rolls Royce that he would park in front of
my
the Sands. He parked it right in front of the hotel. So I said to the kid, lend me your jacket. I'll give you a double sawbuck. Now, a double sawbuck for people, that's $20. What are you going to do? I said, trust me, I won't get
And
you in trouble.
that was a tip then.
That was big money them days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I grabbed the jacket. I put the valet jacket on. I go in, and the guard says, can I help you? I says, yeah, Mr. Kane's car just got hit. I need to tell him. So I run upstairs.
That's
I go
hilarious.
through the secretary says, can I help? I say, yeah, somebody hit Walter Kane's car. I just want him to know. She gets on the phone. He opens up the door, gets in the elevator with me, going down from the 4th floor down. And I said, look, Mr. Kane, my name is Mike Leonetti. The car wasn't hit. I just want you to know I'm trying to get in here because I'm an entertainer. They had me bodily thrown me out, and took my jacket on top of it. It threw me and said, "Get this kid out of here!" Like this. I didn't know what to do to go talk to him.
That's hilarious.
And that's a true story.
That's
you know,
hilarious.
I don't know if the kid got fired, but that was the
But it could
days.
have turned around and been the other way, because you know a lot of recording artists have had their start by they always carry their CDs with them, and sometimes they would run into somebody and they give them their CD, and sometimes they take it, sometimes they
works.
don't.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Well, it wasn't
does work.
CDs, that was LPs and 45s. CDs for Sandy's age, not mine.
It was way before your time.
So what happened was my start, 1974, there was a place called the Tower of Pizza. And I answered an ad because I was in between shows.
Right.
So I said, chef wanted. Now, them days, we're both going back in 1974. Now, for those in Las Vegas that are watching this TV show today, the Tower of Pizza was right across the street from the Aladdin Hotel. And there was a guy that, I don't want to start mentioning names, but all these guys are dead now, so nothing can happen. But any guys, the guys that opened, they would loan shark out of the place. So I walked into a place, and the guy said, "Hey, kid, can I help you?" I says, "Yeah." I says, "I'm here to apply for the job." He said, "What job?" "The chef's position." "The chef's position?" He said, "It's been full. Get out." I come back 4 days later. I said, "Excuse me, I noticed your ad was there." And he says to me, "Didn't we say the job was full?" Now, in Italian, I said to him, "Tu capisci italiano," which means, "Do you understand Italian?" And the guy looked at me and says, "Yeah, I do. Why?" I says, "Du mangiato frittata." Mangiata means either, frittata means an omelet. I said, and it's Italian, "Let me make you an Italian omelet. Let me audition for you," in so many words.
Right.
He says, "Go ahead, kid, go in the kitchen. Let me see what you got." They paid me $100 a day back in '74. I didn't realize it was the Spalatro brothers that was involved in these guys, all the mustaches, but I cooked all the old Italian dishes, and that's how I really and truthfully got my break, because they picked up the phone.
He started singing in the kitchen while he was cooking.
I'm singing in the kitchen. They said, "Hey, this kid's good," they said.
He can sing.
So then whatever, real quick, Gus Gallo gives me $50 more to go to his restaurant. That day, he comes in the kitchen and said, "Hey, kid, you got to go back to the Tower of Pizza." So what do you mean? He said, "Son, you got to go back." He says, they must have called and said, "You better get that kid back."
We've had a meeting.
We had a meeting, have him come back. But I'll never forget that. It was a time that entertainers were entertainers, and I'm so glad that Sandy and I and a few others that are here, Peter Pavone, Mark Jehovy, the list is endless.
Pascal, Elias, amazing,
right. Amazing,
Paris Red,
amazing singer,
really
David
great
Kastel,
singers,
a handful of people that still got that punch, you know, still would make Vegas really what it really is. That's
T. Fox,
another
entertainer of the year,
one of the best,
amazing.
Wow.
And let's not forget Bobby Wilson.
Bobby Brooks Wilson. We just saw him over at Sam's Town.
Oh, really?
Amazing, and you know he's got hits on the top 40, hot 40 top charts on Billboard charts. And you know, and he's an amazing entertainer. We just saw him the other night. Amazing.
So what Sandy and I want to do is open our own supper club to give a platform for these performers
to
really
do the same thing, to give feature these talented people.
Right, and to give them the right staging, the right lighting, pay these people what they're worth, but the food, forget about it. It'll be phenomenal.
I want to come.
Well, you'll be there.
Thank you.
Oh, you'll be there.
You know, the other thing about Vegas now, though, is they're scripted production shows. And it seems to me what's different about now versus then is, first of all, the music was live, and now everything's on tape. And the other thing is, when you're an entertainer working in a lounge or doing a live act every night that's different, you have to be able to think on your feet, don't you?
Oh, you do. And the audience is different every night. You know, that's the thing. And just what you touched on about the scripted production shows, you know, that's what we're hearing about, these huge, big production shows that these kids, they cannot sing all the way through the show, through the production numbers, because they're so involved. It's all about the production. They've forgotten. You know, they've forgotten about what it is that the real people that people want to hear. They want to hear you sing. You are a singer. That's what you're getting paid to do. That's what people are listening to you, and they're buying your records. They want to hear you really sing. Now, if you can stand up there and you can do the dance routines and you can sing at the same time, like the old style performers did, that's when you get all the kudos. You know, but when they find out that things are taped, because, you know, It's because they're out of breath because the production is taking over, the show instead of the singing.
And they're not with Fit and Fabulous. That's why they're out of breath.
That's right. They should stay Fit and Fabulous forever. Then you could do it.
There you go. We're going to take another break because I'm out of breath. And we'll be back with Sandy and Michael right after this. Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you. Welcome back. We're having nothing but fun with Michael Leonetti and Sandy Kastel. They're from Vegas. I think you're going to tell as we go along. If you haven't figured this out yet, they're Vegas people, and God bless them for coming on our show and for having their very special show, Sandy Kastel and Friends, which starting off with on Keen 17 here in Las Vegas. You can watch at noon, and along with on KGNG 31.2 and 47.8 and CenturyLink Prism channels 22 and 24. And just check your local listings, and you'll get an opportunity. And you do stream some, and you're on YouTube as well, right?
Yes,
Every day.
So if you're elsewhere in the country, and we know you are, if you go to YouTube and do you put in Sandy Kastel and Friends?
Just put in Sandy Kastel and Friends and put the date.
Okay. And they put their radio show up every day.
Yes.
And it's like right away. I noticed you're on at 9, right?
Yeah.
Like at 11:30 or something. I clicked on the thing and there you were.
Right.
So.
Sometimes it takes till about 3 o'clock. It depends on how much John Stiles has to do that
there
day.
you go.
And John Stiles is doing a wonderful job.
He
There
is,
you go. That you're good and loyal people.
Thank you.
That's one thing that I think I miss generally, not only in Las Vegas but across the country.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened to loyalty? When it comes to business, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to the church, loyalty. Do you think it's because we're such a transient society anymore?
I don't know. I just think that we found that we've got a circle around us that's come around. It's like we've got this circle of friends and a circle of people that we're working with and doing work with. And, some have come in and some have gone out, but the ones, like you said, are loyal. And we are loyal to Lotus Broadcasting, and they have been loyal to us, KLAV. I mean, we've been with them now. Well,
Almost
I was
a
with
year.
them already for 2 years, and then this year, we started with them
Tony
in
Benici
April.
and Jesse Leeds.
The best.
They're friends of mine, too.
Great, and
nice
Darylyn
guy.
Davidian.
Nice
She's
man.
the first one who brought me
Oh, is
to
that
KLAV.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there was a friend of mine named Johnny Mitchell said something to me years ago in the dark, deep jungles of Africa when I was fighting swamps. He said, Mike, if your heart's not right, you can never receive anything. And I said, Johnny, what do you mean by that? He said, if your heart's not right, you can't receive forgiveness, understanding. And a gentleman named Albert Medina said something to me. He said, Mike, you got 3 qualities that most people don't have. I said, what's that? He says, the content of a man's character, the integrity you hold as an individual, but most important, the compassion you feel towards another human being. Not that many people have those qualities. Now, the word discernment is very, very prolific for me. You have those 3 qualities. Not because you're a Christian man with a Christian heart and faith, but you got to have those 3 qualities to make this, to be a total success. Many people have 1, maybe 2, but not all 3. Later years in my life, I developed that last quality.
The compassion.
The compassion towards another human, because like I said to you once before, there's only one man with holes in his hands, and it's not me or you. There's only one. And today people judge you, they have opinionated, and I look at it this way: when somebody says something bad about you, there was a guy that we both knew that walked the face of the earth. He made the cripple walk and he made the blind see, and he told people to love one another and forgive one another. So when people does you wrong, you're in pretty good company, pal.
And it's interesting, Also in business, we've seen a lot of this. You know, when people are jealous or envious of what you have, you know, then they'll try to tear you down. They'll try to find some way to, you know, to
see it all the time.
And to sabotage you. And you're like, you just have to stay on your path and realize that you're going to get that now and then. And you have to stay on your path and stay focused and keep the people around you that do believe in you, that are supportive of you. And we're supportive of the artists in our community, the good charitable organizations, and 501c3s that are out there doing a lot of good in our arts community. And of course with WEMA, you know, Women and Men in Music and Arts, we're out there trying to give scholarships for them so that they can go out there and continue to pursue their dreams.
Well, that's nice. And it's great that you're doing that and encouraging kids.
But if God is for you, who could be against you?
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, that's the truth. You know, and it's really interesting. You talk about jealousy and you talk about that sort of thing. Somebody once said to me, if you're not getting shot at, you're not doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, working for God's hard.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's not easy. Don't think those guys in the Bible had it easy. They didn't say, they had it rough.
Yeah.
You know, they had it rough. But I keep thinking all the time when we're up in that upper room, they seen him. What made these 11 men go back out into the arena knowing they were going to get destroyed, knowing they were going to get killed? But they did it because God showed them tomorrow. We have to put our faith in the Lord. I'm telling you. I could sit here for another 5 hours and give you so many wonderful testimonies. But when you feel depressed and when you feel down, just look up above a cloud. You know, church is not a building. Church is in your heart. The Bible says it. Go in the room, close the door, and work one-on-one to God. Because if you believe in the Lord, He will never, ever, ever turn you down. And His promise and His outlook for you, it might not look too good right now for you, but I guess His plan, He'll never let you down. Take it from me.
Oh, yeah. And that's the way it honestly works, doesn't it? You know, it really, truly is all about, you know, being one with God, having the understanding that He is there for you, and following through.
True.
You know, the follow through is so important.
That's right.
And real compassion, you know, like you were talking about WEMA, you know, people who have a true compassion for others, you know, particularly those that are less well off, are not only people of faith, as both of you are. They're people that have lived a life.
Yeah. Well,
a
lot of
times
times
they've seen the other side. You know,
when you're the person in front of the camera, like we are. Okay, we're in front of the camera here. People see that. And if they're not getting to be in front of the camera, sometimes they feel like, oh, well, she's always in front of the camera. He's always in front of the camera. Oh, he always gets up on stage. He gets a chance to perform. You know, but you just keep plugging. You know, don't. Ever since I was traveling on the road, ever since I've been a performer, I invited people to come up and sing. I welcomed people. I don't care if they're a girl singer. Well, that's not competition to me. I want to lift them up. And that I've always been that way.
Well, that's what WEMA does. Gives people an opportunity for scholarships, because we want to put something back into the system.
So this is a professional training or whatever they need.
Well, and the thing of it is like I said, you know, it's not about competition. There's enough. We're each unique.
Right.
You are totally different than Michael. I'm totally different than you guys are, or whatever. Even if you're doing the same thing, even if you're all out there singing the same songs, you're still different. You're still unique. There was one of the songwriting teachers, songwriters that I met in Nashville, and he said, Rick Beresford, and he said that we're all fishing from a different part in the pond.
Oh,
you know, somebody else might be a little upstream, somebody else might be downstream. Well, what you're bringing out is unique to you. That's from your well, that your fishing pond that you're pulling out. Somebody else is going to pull out something else. Well, if you're envious of what they've got and envious of what they've got, then you forget, you know, to take care and to, you know, and pull out what fishes you have inside in there.
Sandy has WEMA, which is very close to her heart, and my organization that I am very, very happy to say is the MAFIA. Association.
What's that, Michael?
The Mothers and Fathers Italian Association.
So if you want to send money to the poor children of Italy, it's going to end up in his pocket somehow. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
But you know, we're so fortunate that we have so many supporters here in Las Vegas. And not only that, some of our friends that have been on the radio show, they call us from Australia. They're calling us from Australia. They're calling us from Germany.
They're reversing the charges too on top of it.
And they're telling us about what they're doing over there. They want to come back over here. So we're teaming up with people from around the world to spread the word, which is kind of like what you're doing here.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of spreading the wealth and the word.
Yes.
So, I understand Michael Leonetti has an offer for the viewers of Las Vegas Tonight, here and around the country.
That's
Yes,
right.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about it, Michael.
Well, I'm proud to say that I've been with Star Resorts International for a long, long time. It's the time-sharing resort through Geo Holidays Jockey Club. And I'm the marketing guru. I'm the guy that they come to make the changes and
This is the guy you want to know.
I'm the guy you want to talk to. You know, there's a lot of great shows in Las Vegas. And to get a comp today, with the word comp, a free ticket, it's very difficult. It's how much you spend. You have to do something. Now, many times people go through a 90-minute or 2-hour presentation for us, and we give these wonderful gifts out. But I came here today because I want to give these wonderful, wonderful gifts for anybody that watches your show, our show, that call into the station. We got the Diva Show with Frank Marino, who's absolutely hilarious. He's been here for 270 years. This is really Dorian Gray. This is the guy that looks just like Dorian. He never ages.
He's great.
He's great.
He's my neighbor, too.
He's your neighbor?
Lives in the lakes.
Right. We also have Matt King for your family that you really want to laugh. This guy is hilarious, and he's excellent.
Magic and good for the whole family can watch.
If you like David Copperfield, if you like Chris Angel, you will love the Hypnosis.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Savard. Phenomenal.
Mark Savard.
Mark Savard. So, ladies and gentlemen, these tickets are compliments from my organization. We thank you. I thank you. Sandy thanks you. I feel like that's Eddie Foy. My cousin thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister-in-law thanks you.
That's right.
And my ex-wife thanks you.
And all they have to do is call in, right?
That's all they do is call in.
Or write us. And the way you can find out where we're at is to go to our website, which is VegasSaints.org, VegasSaints.org. If you send us an email, as long as they last, we're going to give you 1 for 2, right? 2 people?
Yeah, because 1 ticket's for 2 people.
Okay.
Sometimes people are coming into Vegas. Great way to have a show before you come in.
Oh,
and you don't have to do anything. That's my compliments to you. We love you. Sandy loves you. God loves you most of all.
Thank you. And we love you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you for letting us be part of King TV. We're so excited about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to many years together making this work. We're going to end up just a little bit early here because I want to go out with some entertainment with you two. We've got a great clip we want to show of these 2 folks. They're fantastic. She's a great singer. He's a terrific drummer. He's a singer as well, and you're going to get a chance to see a little bit of all of that in just the next couple of minutes. Thank you for watching Las Vegas Tonight. Thank you so much to Sandy Kastel and Michael Leonetti of Sandy Kastel and Friends. God bless you all, and please walk with him.
Put your hands together, folks, for the lovely Miss Sandy Kastel.
Like me a lady tonight. Like me a lady tonight. Like if you've never been a lady to begin with, like be a lady tonight. Stick with me, sister, I'm the gal that you came in with, like be a lady. Mr. Michael Leonetti.
Drawn by the lights, glamour, and opportunities in Sin City, they come from all over the world, searching for their chance to be a pretty woman, a success, or maybe just to have a better life, be somebody. What happened after they got here is literally changing the world. From the story of Tommy Scott, a former gang enforcer turned Christian evangelist, to the Hookers for Jesus Outreach Ministry, to the heart-wrenching story of Arturo Martinez, and his heroic act of forgiving the man who assaulted and murdered his wife and 10-year-old daughter. Las Vegas Tonight presents an extraordinary depiction of Las Vegas as a city of transformation, from Sin City to Vegas Saints. Las Vegas Tonight, from Sin City to Vegas Saints, a collection of true stories of transformation, people whose lives were transformed and people who are now transforming the world.
Enjoy terrific Las Vegas shows, scrumptious dining, and fun-filled attractions at half price. Wow! Visit LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. If you use discount code VEGAS, you'll get over $2,000 worth of discounts for only $34.95. Just $34.95. LasVegasPerks.com. That's LasVegasPerks.com. Act now.
Hello, I'm Dale Davidson. I hope you're enjoying Las Vegas tonight. The guests we've had on the program are wonderful examples of Christians who take seriously Christ's command to love one another. In addition to the hundreds of television stations across the United States now carrying our show, we have been presented with the outstanding opportunity to bring these inspiring stories to people around the world. An international satellite network in the Russian and Ukrainian languages has asked us to provide them with episodes to be broadcast to millions. To make a gift to support this very special effort, please send your check or money order to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. To use your credit or debit card, call 702-480-3989. Thank you, and God bless you.
You've been watching Las Vegas Tonight with Dale Davidson. Send your tax-deductible gifts to Dale Davidson Ministries, 9030 West Sahara Avenue, number 255, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89117. Or call 702-480-3989. Thanks for watching.